Blah blah blah, haven't been recording in a while. Today I'm ranking all the funniest glitches I've encountered in my gaming history. Starting with number 1, infinite ammo glitch. This one wasn't because of us hacking or anything like that. An NPC had died, and well, as you can see, he dropped all the ammo that he was provided. This one's pretty funny because of just this sheer number that they were dropped. So that's why I'm going to be ranking infinite ammo glitch not there. I'm going to be ranking it high up over at A. It wasn't that crazy game changing, but it was still really funny, especially with the group. Up next, we've got number 2. This one's a visual bug featuring the glider. Slider is what it's called. Anyways, certain winged items I believe might have had an issue, but I knew for sure this one was one of them. It was also in-game as well, but there's no footage of me recording that. It was very hilarious because of the length of it, which is why I'm going to be rating this one also in A. Up next, we've got a visual bug over here. This one was after death. It was unrendered crystal llama. Excuse me. Whoa. This one was very weird, especially since it didn't disappear right away, but it was just a visual bug. The other players saw a normal llama under my assumption. I'm rating it D tier. Up next, it's the music tracks had a default item over here. Instead of it being the square, it was this Rex character model or PNG model. Either way, a visual bug that doesn't really affect anything, very minimal. That's where I am rating it a bit below. I'm rating it F. Up next, let me pull it up. It is the pom-poms. I forget which season, but this gives a good hint, a clue. So does Superman. As you can see, even though I was holding the umbrella, I was able to scroll through the different items, and only the pom-poms were visible. So even though this was very funny and also visible to other players, it was only during. Thank goodness I didn't fumble that. I'm gonna rate this a B tier. Up next is a very funny one. I saw a crack on the floor. You weren't able to access through it, so there wasn't really much I can interact with it. I technically could shoot on top of it, but you couldn't shoot through it, so it was more just a visual. Couldn't tell you why it was like that. So that's why I'm going to be rating it a B tier. Sounds fair. It could have been affecting other players as well. Can't tell you. Up next is a really hilarious lobby one. This one is Bald. What's her name? This one was really funny due to the fact that it just wouldn't load her hair, allowing her to be bald. I wish this was a selectable character model, but it is not. So for that reason, I'm going to be actually rating it the bottom of A tier. No, top of B tier. Again, funny bug in terms of the lobby. You can't really interact with it much there. Up next was the model for the Zeus shredding axe. I believe it's the lead guitar. Had the model of the Spider-Verse, thanks to the randomizer, accidentally glitching during my gameplay of No Scrubs. I will not be ashamed to admit I like that song. It's not in my playlist though. This one's funny simply because it looked like an alternative art style that I would kill for. The red with the lightning looks awesome. However, it was only during my single player game and I can't replicate it. So in that case, I'm going to have to rate it alternative art guitar, bottom of A tier. Promise you these will get lower, or maybe they're all just that good. Up next, someone had gotten the Batmobile early. They were also playing like a bot, which confused me. So I killed them, and I was able to ride around. Again, early access, someone who probably did something with the code or whatever. Whatever the case may be, there's his username. And this one is getting a C tier. Up next, we've got unrendered, what's his name? He's a season 3-4 character, I think. And because it took me a bit to load in, he had low polygons. Looked like he put something in his face, if it could pop whatever that up. And yeah, no, it was really funny at the time. Again, it disappeared right away because it's just unrendered. This one is going under D tier. Up next, we have White Effects Godzilla. This one, I believe, is still happening on my account. Instead of it having a blue color, it shows white. Really funny because it looks awesome. Reminds me of of a Spider-Man villain mid-fight. And nothing with the boots. I just wanted to show those off. You could also have the reactivity on. And again, because it's white, it has a bit of a white color as well. This one is really cool, but I had to do more testing. I still don't have as much information about it. That's why it's going in bottom of A tier. If it could be interactable. If not, and it's only a lobby thing, I would put it underneath in B tier. Again, we'll have to see. Giving it the benefit of the doubt. Up next, another another placeholder. These will pop up every so often. However, this one was for the Fortnite crew. I thought it was very funny that you couldn't even get the placeholder icon for your moneymaker available. But that was her, I guess. If someone really liked that skin, there you go, good for you. This one's getting F tier as well, just because it was only for a temporary time. The next ones coming up were for longer. Up next, it's the map for Festival. I was able to pull this up somehow. I believe it just could happen every now and then. You could open up the maps. And I've had a very similar glitch on PlayStation that I won't pull up now. Just letting you know it's an S tier 1. It's also my PlayStation wallpaper. So as you can see, the storm's completely taken over Festival. However, technically it isn't. This one's all visual. However, being able to pull up maps in the first place is kind of cool, especially since you don't really move at all and it's useless. That's why I'm putting it in the top of C tier. Up next, this was out for like around less than a month, but it was still out for longer. It was placeholders for something like the Peppermint Paraglider. I believe there's also a bug with this glider or something like that. But the main idea was that this one was a placeholder item for a while. So compared to the other one, I would obliged to put it up higher, simply just because, it was out for much longer. Up next, we've got gameplay video of a back bling that I've actually really enjoyed using, that allows you to show up emoticons. This one, on the other hand, is bugged. It's the first birthday cupcake. You get that during the first anniversary. And of course, this is a bit dated, but as you can see, as you cannot see. No. Anyways, the back bling's bugged and it glitches out. I know that it is because of the certain asset model being a large spreadsheet, but I do not know if there's any other modern examples of this out there. So this could just be super outdated. That being said, I am rating glitched back bling on the... It's tough, honestly. It was a really tough glitch, but I'm gonna rate it in the A tier as well. Up next, we've got ourselves a very bugged out fall animation. It was just strange because before, as you can see from the icon photo, it's very light, there's not that much going on, but it was bugged, and as you can see, it's a complete shield of purple. Really funny one there. I'm gonna be rating that on A as well. So now that I'm looking at this tier list right now, as you can see, a few of them are rated because of looks, because of gameplay, but I'm gonna take a quick look over at another game, that being Identity 5. We've got a gameplay glitch here in the lobby. As you can see, some characters models of hunters were being popped up when I was queued in for Survivor. A friend of mine's online had taught me about it during that time, and I don't believe you can. Oh, that's spoilers. And I don't believe you can recreate this one. The hunter in the Survivor chairs honestly was really fun to learn how to do, so I'm gonna rate it also an A tier as well. Up next is glitched wall. As you can see here, this is a wall that was glitching rapidly. I believe it was due to a CPU error, file error, or both. And so the wall texture didn't load properly, and the collision acted weird. This one was very funny, but it was, again, just one wall. Nothing too crazy, but it was still really fun to stare at while my opponents get the win. So I'm going to rate that one also high. Up next, we've got Survivor stuck inside of pole. This one is very tame because you could pick them up through the wall, but in the event that they were to be stuck in some other spot, would have been game changing. They were also bots, by the way, so that's probably an explanation as to why they were there. Bots stuck on floor, even though it is technically game changing in some sense, wasn't really that impressive. I'm rating it B tier. Up next, it is one that I've gotten a lot of photos for, but it involves my Survivor self being visible, even with the changed outfit. Still doesn't change anything. Even different characters had stayed there until people joined in. This one was very fun. However, was only for the lobby, disappeared right after. I'd have to rate it C tier. Up next, we've got a very cool looking clown character. The model in the photo was shrunken somehow, and so instead of his face being bigger and on center, it was shrunken to the side corner. Again, similar to the icon glitch that happened previously. This one's really cool, and I honestly believe this one is, even though it's for only the split time that it's there, really nice one. So I'm gonna put this on top of B tier. Up next, this dude during launch was a nightmare. Embalmer's S tier skin, if you don't know what that means, this Survivor's limited skin came out a buggy mess. There's textures completely all wrong, and as you can see here, his player model even got to the point where it was just a buggy mess. It was great. It incentivized at minimum me to want to get the skin, and so I would put this on the thing here on B, but the character on A. That's why I had to split them up. Up next, translation error. As you can tell, NetEase is not an American company, and such. They translate from their native tongue to English. Of course, this one didn't slide during its release, and I would honestly rate this D tier. It's mediocre. Who cares? Up next, the entirety of the character novelist before his rework. A buggy mess, man. Let me tell you. And I made a video. Check that out. On trying to play the character. It was bad. Bad. But as you can tell here, I am not playing novelist. I am playing the hunter. I'm in the perspective of the survivor. I have the same loadout, but of course limited. And I cannot hit the survivor. My character movement was incredibly buggy, and the dude was emoting as if he did that intentionally. Now, of course, it could have been a hack. Duh, obviously. This is the type of thing that you would probably look into if you were a game developer. Look at me go. Nah, I'm going back. Again, this one I really couldn't tell if it was a bug or a hack, but in the end, guess who won? This one's gotta be S tier. The character in itself didn't deserve the fate that he'd gotten, but he did because developers. Now, finally, we're going to bring up specific thing here. We've got a couple of Poppy Playtime, bugs that had occurred in my lifetime. Allow me to quickly pull this up. Starting off with number 1, this guy stuck inside of the stairs. He was kind of sad. Look, he got down by Huggy above the ramp. He fell down. I actually reported this to the developers. They had a forum for stuff like this. My graphics card literally isn't even half of what it's recommended. So that was it. That was the bug. His graphics card was incredibly bad. Oh, speaking of graphics, you might have noticed the Ready Up HUD was here during the match. I forgot. I was so used to it being such a mess of a game. Because Poppy Playtime overall was buggy, I would generally give it an S tier. The stairs itself is very C tier, but the game, which I'll rank lower. I'll give stairs a C, top of C. Up next. Oh wait, hold up. Actually, this is good. Secret contender is Trippy YouTube. I was working on the editor, and it looked like my file corrupted somehow, as you can see here. Have you seen this? It's got this very colorful look, and of course I'm grateful the loadout was there. This could literally trip anyone up. But yeah, as you can see, the whole ending of it is just Picasso-esque, you know. This one would be S tier for sure. This one was an S tier bug because there wasn't a file corruption. It was just visual for some reason, for me. Also, what was I looking for? Oh, yes, perfect, yep. Dead by Roblox. And this one was a glitch where you get stuck on the roof, I guess. The main thing was the game itself was pretty buggy. Not all the time, so I'll give it credit for that. But the game itself had its fair share. So I'll give Dead by Roblox, I'd give it B. I'd probably put it up here. Up next, let me pull it up real quick. Phase ? This was a real phase that didn't work. It was in between, I believe, phase 2 and 3. It depends on. It said season 1 pass actually, but it was a strange bug. All the tiers were this dino inflatable. Yep. And yeah, pretty much. No matter how many tiers you get, it wouldn't get you anything. You didn't unlock anything. Oh man, I love Project Playtime. Please don't let it disappear from the shop. Just let it work, and I'll go back on. I promise. Infinite Phase ? Is S tier. Up next is the Headless Horseman. I don't want to call myself a horseman, but the Headless Survivor. How you get this bug was you put on the balloon head, and then you shake all over the place, and eventually your head will get stuck somewhere, and you'll be headless. The headless character was awesome. I just love the balloon head in general. I was glad I got it, even though the game's dead. I would I'll rate Headless Survivor S tier. And then finally, it's just the loading screen for Dead by Roblox. Honestly, who cares? This one's like the bare minimum. I'm rating it F tier. So anyways, what did we learn? Bring back Project Playtime.